Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. You know that song by the Rolling Stones, "You can't always get what you want"? Now that's what happens here with Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of Great Britain still. He is on the way out, and we don't have very bright prospects for new prime ministers, especially if Lizzie Lazy Truss comes. We're going to be treated with some, my God, clownish statements that we're going to be like, oh my God, where are you from? Oh, Great Britain. I don't remember my friends from Great Britain being like that, and I know they're not. So this article comes from Bloomberg, and this is the title: Poland can't find time for Boris Johnson's valedictory visit. A valedictory visit. All right. So Boris Johnson's planned visit to Poland was cancelled after Polish Prime Minister's office told Downing Street he no longer has time to meet the outgoing UK Premier. Well, British and Polish officials discussed several potential dates and previously agreed a meeting in Warsaw on August 8th, before the plan fell through, according to people familiar with the discussions. The trip was said to be part of a series of valedictory visits and phone calls between Johnson and various world leaders. I don't think they liked him very much. I think they say, oh my God, whew, I'm so happy he's gone. I don't have to listen to and see his face, I guarantee you. Detailed work was drawn up by civil servants to plan the Polish visit, and Downing Street briefed the press that it was in the pipeline. What kind of pipeline? The pipeline. And when the pipeline was plugged, I guess. Okay, so as recently as last week, number 10 officials believed it was still going ahead. Or number 10 officials? Yeah, number 10 officials believed it was still going ahead, but to the disappointment of Johnson's team, Morawiec's office then informed them that as well as no longer being able to make August 8, it was unlikely the Polish leader would be able to find the time before Johnson leaves office in September, the people said. So now that he's gone, no time for Johnson. I wonder if he tries to get in touch with his buddy Zelensky, if Zelensky is going to give him the same, leave me alone, take your hand off my shoulder. Well, all right, so let's see here that it says that Morawiec's office didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. Johnson's spokesman, Max Blaine, told reporters that the visit had originally been planned for last week, but Johnson instead attended the funeral of Northern Irish politician David Trimble. Blaine said that no further date has been agreed with Polish authorities. All right, no date. It is expected. Johnson team has also made a request to the White House for a final phone call with US President Joe Biden, although the two sides have so far been unable to find a time, the people said. All right, so the White House declined to comment. It is expected a call with Biden will still take place before Johnson departs, a number 10 official said. Johnson also hopes to speak to French President Emmanuel Macron by phone this week, they said. What do you think? They want to talk to him? Well, remember when they had that G7 meeting? What about this communist north of the United States, Justin, the drama teacher? What is he going to do? Because if you remember, even, what's her name, Ursula of the European Union, as you can hear, I have war around me. There's people who are working very, very hard. So we have to do this, otherwise we're going to meet tomorrow after they're done. So, if you remember the G7 meeting in Bavaria, wasn't it? When they met over there and they all buddies. They were laughing and making jokes and on Putin's shirtless pictures and so on. Where are they now? But to be honest, it's just the Polish prime minister, so it's not the big guns. Let's put it this way. But maybe he doesn't have time. But it's very strange, very strange. I mean, if you look at Poland, what does Poland have? United States and Great Britain. That's all. They don't have the French. They definitely don't have the Germans. They have nothing with the Italians. They don't have the Russians. So they don't have the Chinese. And the Poles kind of always had someone. I look at the Second World War and see, and even in the First World War, when they were not a country at that time, they always had these masters, and the masters or the helpers, supporters, sponsors, friends, partners, whatever euphemisms you want to use, was Great Britain. So if they got rid of Johnson so quick, it's probably because they have United States, and they will kiss the shoe of Liz Truss pretty soon, I guarantee you. And it's unbelievable when you see these guys coming to you. Let's say you invite a delegation from a country. Let's say it's I'm going to use some nice words, a civilized, first world country, industrialized, and all that, like one of the perfect countries. And you will receive this delegation of diplomats and high officials, starting with, I don't know, prime ministers, vice presidents, secretary of state, foreign ministers, and you meet them and you start talking to them and you realize that these guys are, something is wrong here. And you probably question yourself, maybe I didn't understand what these guys are saying. Because sometimes when someone said something very weird, you think it's you, or you think, well, I didn't get it, because you don't think that that's an idiot. You still think, oh, he has this position in his country, so this title, so he must be of this value. And then you say, okay, maybe he was too deep for me, and you start saying, well, what did I miss? No, you didn't miss anything. He's just a child over there. You didn't miss anything, but you need a pattern. So it depends on the pattern. Some people, put a stamp on the person after a second mishap. Some people after 20, some people never. So I wonder when these guys receive Liz Truss, for instance, I'll give you exact example here, precise example. Liz Truss, and she opens her mouth and she doesn't even know about it. You say, like, what's wrong with this? And you look at it and say, this is from Great Britain. It's not like a country from Zibagapagavagaba, And you say, how in the hell she got over there? And now she's going to be possibly the prime minister. And she was the foreign minister. Remember when she went and visited Lavrov? That for me, it was the stamp. Like the last drop, it was okay, thank you very much, take the folder, put it over there. That's Lizzie forever from now on. She needs to be born about 50 more times in order to accumulate what needs for her to accumulate to be on that position. Honestly. When she was with the ambassador next to the Lavrov, and Lavrov asked her, what about these provinces? And there were two provinces that belonged to Russia from, I don't know, Peter the Great or whomever, forever. And she said, well, Great Britain, she said, Lizzie, we will never agree with those provinces to be part of Russia. And then British ambassador to Russia, Lizzie, those provinces always belong to Russia. She thought the guy was talking about Luhansk and Donetsk provinces, territories. So this is the foreign minister. She didn't know anything about geography or history of a country of Russia's magnitude. I'm not talking about Romania, to know about Romania or Poland's history, or or Lithuania or Latvia. But this is Russia. You should know who's who, what's what. She was like, in the hospital, beep, dead. And that's possibly the prime minister of Great Britain, and think that she's going to have a foreign minister, and that foreign minister is going to report to her. That foreign minister can tell her anything he or she wants, because Lizzie will not have the capability to understand what's going on. So she's going to be like, yes, I'm the leader here, I will decide, do like, what did you say? Yeah, like that. like Kamala Harris, the same. I think Kamala Harris. No, I think Kamala Harris. It's much lower. The vice president with 1% approval rating during the primaries in the Democratic. You remember the primaries, Democratic primaries? She got 1%, and now she is vice president. How? If you know what I mean. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.